So folks, it's been a few weeks since I've obviously posted up a video, and I apologise for that. What it is, we've had a family bereavement. My good editor-in-chief, my darling wife Pamela, who normally does the editing for me, her father has just passed away recently, so that's why I haven't been uploading any videos, so apologies for that. Good evening everyone, and another episode of Whitebeard's Kitchen. What I'm going to do this evening is a Mangalorean prawn curry. So what I have in here, just heating in the pot, is about a tablespoon of coconut oil. Use it if you have it. If you haven't, certainly use vegetable oil, but best if you have the coconut oil for this recipe. So the oil is now heated. I'm turning this down to roughly about a medium to medium low. First thing that's going in, and I don't have them Byadgi Chillies, red chilies, they're an Indian chili, but I do have a Kashmiri chili, so I'm going to have to use that. So there's 10 Kashmiri Chillies going into that. I'm putting in half a teaspoon of black mustard seed, any mustard seed that you might have. Next, I'm going to have in here probably about 10 peppercorns, black peppercorns going in. And I want to roast these spices, so what I have going in is a tablespoon of coriander seeds. I'm going to add in half a teaspoon of cumin seeds. So that's the cumin seeds in, and then half a teaspoon again of fennel seeds going in. Fennel seeds. And then a few pinches of fenugreek seeds. So probably again about quarter to half a teaspoon. So that's those in. So what I want to do now is just toast those very gently. And I'll know that they're ready when you can smell the aroma coming from the spices that are added in. So say keep that to a medium low, and depending on your hob or your oven or whatever, or not your oven, your cooker, you might need to turn it down to low. What you don't want is these to burn. Kind of keep moving them around. So I can smell the aroma from the spices, and they're toasting nicely. So what now I'm adding in, now if you have fresh coconut, yes, by all means use this. Very hard to get here where I live in good old Northern Ireland, what do you call it, in the Mourne Mountains. So I'm using desiccated coconut, and what I want to do is get that to kind of just a light brown colour. What I'm going to do as well is add in just about half of a small red onion, or any onion that you like. There we are. And again, keep stirring this. Do not walk away. I know that I kind of have, but please don't. Right, I'll be back and show you what it's like. So just what I'm going to add now, and I would do this, just add this into the masala when I make it, but because I only have dried curry leaves, kind of a small amount of, if you have dried curry leaves. Yes, if you've got the fresh ones, absolutely super. Wait until you've actually made the paste. Okay, so I've got a nice brown colour on the coconut, so I don't want it to cook anymore. What I'm going to do, I'll scrape this into a bowl or onto a plate, and I'll let it cool for a while, and then I'll take you to the next process. So now to make the masala, or gravy, whatever you wish to call it. And in no particular order, I have 5 cloves going into this. Okay, and then I have half of that small to medium onion that I used. I have 2 chopped tomatoes, just roughly chopped. So those go in. Right. What I'm going to do is add half a teaspoon of turmeric powder in. That goes in. Then I want a good teaspoon of what I would call deji mirch, or chili powder. It's slightly less spicy probably than your regular chili powder. I don't have tamarind pulp, and neither do I have tamarind paste, unfortunately, at the minute. So I am using tamarind sauce. So I'm going to eyeball this, and roughly what I'm looking here is about 2 tablespoons of tamarind sauce, and that will give it a bit of a tang. And then what I'll do is I'll do it carefully off camera. The chilies, the curry leaves, the coconut, and all the different other spices, the mustard seeds, etc. These are going to go in. I'll add a small taste of water. Oh, and this is my version, I should say as well, and this is absolutely totally optional. Is I am going to put in just roughly about 10 cashew nuts. It's just to give that little bit more creaminess. So that's the masala paste made, and that's kind of the consistency that I have got. Now that's going to be thinned down because there will be water added, and obviously I'm not going to get all that into the pan, so I usually do the old usual. Whack in some water, give it another whiz, and that'll be the water that'll go in. So we'll get every bit of goodness there that we possibly can. Just to say, the smell of this, I can actually run off with a piece of bread and dip this into it and eat it, never mind cooking any further. And again, this time with about 3 to 4 tablespoons of coconut oil. So the oil is heated, and what I've added in is 2.5 tablespoons of garlic and ginger paste. So it's a tablespoon of ginger and a tablespoon and a half of garlic, so that's 2.5 tablespoons. So I'm just doing this on a medium low. There we are. Now there's a nice kick off that because I didn't take the seeds out of Kashmiri chilies. Kashmiri chilies are pretty mild, so I am adding in to this now 3 green finger chilies, which again I'm not de-seeding, they're quite small. They do give a bit of a kick. Use less if you wish. And again, you know, probably 2 wouldn't maybe be enough, but that's just me. I like my spice. So the next thing is to try and get as much of the paste in as possible. So as I say, what I can't get out of this little blender jar, there will be water going in, so I ain't going to worry. I'll make sure I get the whole damn thing out. That's as much as I can get out for the minute. So I'm going to turn this to a medium heat, and I'm just going to constantly stir this until I see obviously oil at the top and also around the sides. So that will be the spices releasing their natural oils. So I'll be back soon. I've got in as close as I can, so you'll probably see just the oil there in the middle, and that's also around the sides. So what I'm going to do now, pretty simple, I'm going to add just some of water to this. So I'm going to say that's probably about 200 mils that I have added. Give this a stir, and then I'll turn this up to a medium high, and leave it for probably 15-20 minutes, and in between times I'll come back to it obviously to make sure and just give it a stir, because there is a bit of sweetness there that's coming through from the coconut, and also a little bit of sweetness too. I think cashew nuts give that as well. So anyway, so give that a really good mix. Now I'm going to pop the lid on it. That beer that I poured myself, I'm going to neck, and a good old Northern Ireland term that. In other words, I'm going to drink it and drink it quickly so we can get into my second one. It is Saturday evening. So there we are. So I've got that on to a medium high, probably nearer than medium to be fair. I will see you soon. Right, as you can see, this is bubbling away nicely, so I'm just going to use the rest of this water and give myself a bit of time. So there's probably another 100 mils in. I'm going to let it cook. I've let it cook now for about 10 minutes, so it's probably another 10 minutes to do. 15 would be fine, but I'm just giving myself a little break so I can do something else. Make this to the consistency that you like. You might like it a bit thick, so that's fine. You know, don't add in as much liquid. As I say, this has to cook for another 10 minutes, so we'll see what it's like when I come back. There we are, lid on, ready for the second beer. Okay, so now in for the star of the show, and this is, well, King Prawns you get out of a certain supermarket here in good old Northern Ireland. So 240 grams, could make it up to 250. That's how I buy a big bag and try and divide everything out without measuring stuff. So I've turned this down now and I'm going to cook this, give these a bit of a stir. Have this on a medium low, and I'll be back probably in 10 minutes to see what these are like. I just have a tiny bit of coriander going in. I like mine going in now, just simply because I think it adds a nice flavour when it's cooked. Some people like to sprinkle over the top, and thank God I'm getting coriander, fresh coriander this evening, because nobody else is having this. Great! What more can I want? So probably about another 3 to 4 minutes and this will be ready to dish up. And all I'm going to have with this tonight, because I don't want rice, I'm going to have a few plain pita breads, not even naan, shop bought, because I couldn't be asked making my own. There we are. Lid back on. So for me there's a nice bit of a kick off that. There is a thing called kokum petals. I don't have those. And so it's another substitute for that, and I'm going to add it in now just to give it a little bit more sourness to it. Is another tablespoon of the tamarind sauce that I have. Okay, I haven't added any salt to it yet, so I'll do that now. I'm using rock salt. I'm going to add in roughly about 3/4 of a teaspoon of rock salt, and roughly about another minute to 2 minutes, and this is ready. Well folks, now for the taste test. And not often do you see Whitebeard sitting down at his table. We've rearranged the fucking kitchen, should have done this a long time ago. Here we go. Get a prawn. I'll not put pop one of those green chilies in my mouth quite yet. And a bit of the sauce. The prawns cooked perfectly. That sauce is absolutely, and I have to say this, absolutely amazing. I won't even have I'll just have a dunk of the pita bread with it. Say, I couldn't be bothered doing rice or anything. A little bit of sourness. There is a sweetness to it. That was possibly the cashew nut, certainly the coconut. I blitzed that well. Thank goodness. Do try this Mangalorean curry. Absolutely wonderful. If you want less chilli, don't put the green chilies in. That's entirely up to you. This is just me. And see you soon. So, for me, take care of yourself, your friends, your family, and everybody around you. See you soon. Rock on. Sláinte. Cheers. Bye for now. One more time.